I've been teaching almost close to 30 years, and of course I teach compassion and insight of the Buddhist tradition, but lately I found out that without the core connection within ourselves, even the compassion, wonderful, amazing, even the cognitive-based insight, mindfulness, everything great, but somehow we feel in deep down there's some form of hollow. And as you mentioned, we all have this great love, but sometimes, due to the circumstances and lifestyle, so we forgot the basic essence of love. I call the basic fundamental okayness within ourselves. You may call, love yourself, or I think I will call like just feel the birthright connection, the readiness to give love first, love, and ready to receive love. So this very beautiful, open, and like spontaneous, humorous, in the body, in the feeling, not in the mind only. So I think this is, we must connect that. We have that, I call birthright, but the life where we live and so many things, there's very much chance that you go disconnect from that and go into your head and trying to find all the solution from the head. So that I see is a little bit danger, and it makes you hollow, hungry. Sometimes I call this, that hollow is called hungry ghost, some kind of like. So I think for my work right now, to the hyper mind come back to your body, and within the body you find feelings, and maybe there's different kind of feeling, healthy feeling or distorted feeling, and make friend with them and make it transform by itself, and then go back to the child heart, the open, one more time, and nurture that with the care, with some training, and then make that fundamental very strong, and then essence love start to express, called expressional love, loving kindness and compassion, and it makes you romantic love very healthy, parenting love also healthy, and that essence love also expressed through compassionate love and devotional love. So I think I'm really focusing on the root of this healthy, okay feeling. It's called unconditional love, without subject and object. And from there, we train to have expression love, could be healthy. Without that, even if we train love, there's somewhere deep down, there's some hollow. So I don't know.
Yes.
This is how I want to have everyone have that okayness in the mind, in the feeling, in the body, of course in the mind. And once you have that, then everything, I think, could be very beautiful.
Amen.
Without that, everything is sort of consuming to that hollow to feel okay by something. But the by something might not have full potential, make you okay. Of course, external okayness is, I call, bonus, extra happiness. But we must have the basic fundamental okayness, and then external happiness, it can be plus. but only external with that hollow and speedy in your system and grabbing only for outside and finding the solution. I think that is it's not so good for environment, not so good for your health, not so good for your not so good for your heart.
And so when you speak of the danger of a hyper-focus on the mind,
Right.
Is this something that you experience as a universal condition, or do you find that for folks living in the modern world, perhaps even more emphatically in the Western world?
In the high-class world.
High-class world. This doesn't sound like such a happy world, this high-class world.
I mean, hoping for a happy world. But the more you hope, if you lost this connection, I'm not sure you will end up happy world or not. But with this okayness, somewhere grounded, I call grounded body, open heart, and open mind. If you have that, wow, the speedy world is, external speedy world is beautiful. But without that, you might have so many things, but in deep down, there's a hollow. Hello. Sorry. My English is not so good, so I didn't bring my translator. I have 2 translators here, but to save the time, I just came by myself.
And you speak of...
I call this disconnected hollow in the advanced country, I call high-class suffering. High-class suffering. I think you might like it. We have a high-class suffering. Wow.
Yes. And you speak of this original wholeness, original happiness as a birthright.
Right, as love.
As love. And so
essence love, I call.
The essence love.
I make essence love and expression. But we express a lot, but we are missing the essence. Sorry, okay.
And so, as you understand our human condition, our essential condition, our what in the Sufi tradition we would call our primordial nature, our fitra, that essential nature of us is to actually be whole, to be happy?
Happy, but it's a different kind of happy. Happy without reason. That happy. Just happy. If you ask why you're happy, I don't know. Mind always asks, when body start to feel okay in the feeling in the heart, and the mind start to feel, why are you okay? And the heart says, I don't know. Tell me, what reason are you happy? I don't know, I just feel happy. So we're missing that. We want to be happy with something. And then it goes here, and something, subject and object, and condition. So unconditional well-being, okayness, is less and less, and okay with something, happy with something, which is wonderful. But we have to have that. And then the speed in it will come down a little bit. The speedy, not physical speedy, physical speed. Mind speed, wonderful. Physical speed, wonderful. But there is a anxious kind of between, I call subtle body speedy, between mind and the physical body. There's another area called subtle body. And the modern lifestyle is very hard on that. I have very funny example.
You have time, all the time.
Really?
This is an illusion.
Yes. But I like to respect the illusion.
Yes.
A Buddhist point of view, although it's empty, but there's a relative truth. So I like to respect. Sorry. And one time I had this speediness inside of me in London Heathrow Airport. So I was in lounge. In the Buddhist business lounge, you have a restroom individually, like 10 of them, and there were line. So I was waiting there. Somehow I want to get in to the restroom. I don't know why. I feel like inside like engine without going anywhere. So, and my turn came. So I was watching who is coming out. I want to go in. So wait. Nobody coming out. Suddenly I heard one flash noise. So I went to that door, and the door opened, and I went in before the person coming out. So there was a British gentleman. Says like, "Sir, let me come out first." Then I saw, wow, what happened? So I look at that, the speediness in the subtle body also. It's Tibetan we call lung. I think Sanskrit is called prana. I think Chinese is called qi. It's not in balance. It's moving very like that. So of course he come out. I went in and I sit there. Wow, what happened? I look at my watch. I have 3 more hours to go. But it's not rational. It's not But the message from the spirit says you must get in, do something fast right now, fly. But I cannot. I have to respect the physical speed. Physical speed, I have 3 more hours. But it's not a mind, it's not a physical, it's something in the
more subtle.
Subtle. And that is very hard. I think we got a lot of burnout, disconnect from our well-being, our okayness. And I teach a lot about how to come down and relax, but not necessarily physically slow down. Mind thinking very fast, physical very fast, but this unnecessary, distorted, restless come down. And that gives you some kind of room for essence love to grow.
Let me ask you one last question before we turn over to Jamal Noor.
Good. The last one, I'm waiting for that. Say it. Last one. Joking.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. May all souls and all bodies be safe and be whole. I would love to learn a little bit from you about the work that you have been doing with the nuns,
right,
and what has led you to feel called to that particular training, and what opportunities and challenges.
Basically, I have a natural connection with the women's education in Tibet also. And now I'm living in Nepal, and there's sometimes we call karmic connection at the first, and then I see the greatness, the potential of the women. Like if they train well, they can do great things. And I'm sort of preserving the wisdom tradition of ancients and bringing into the modern in the female form. So this is what I'm doing. And there's a lot of challenges, of course, society challenge a little bit. And the place there where I'm in Nepal, people are very warm-hearted, but a little bit slow, more than we need. Here, we are faster, more than we need. So I'm trying to balance that is very tough. So I have a director coming from Europe, and quite punctual, strong, good heart, and train all the teachers and bringing European, becoming European mind, because in Nepal, very warm, they say they will come 2 o'clock, but they will come 3 o'clock. When they come 3 o'clock, they come with a happily, without any guilt. Which is wonderful. What I can do? They're so kind, they're so happy, and they even don't bring the guilt of not coming 1 hour later, but still happy. So I have to respect that, no?
Lovely. Lovely. Happiness, no guilt, balance of punctuality and ease. Okay, yes. I think there's lots of great lessons.
This is also one of my, can you hear me? Yes. One of my sort of trying to bring the open, kind of free spirit, warm heart, connect with the essence of love, and then when they express love and respect the relative, external, with the punctuality. Yes. As in free, I call simple inside, complex outside, and between the complexity and simplicity, how to bring together. The punctuality makes everything sufficient. Too tight here makes everything miserable. So happy, without reason, open, but everything respect and right in time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was asked by Rinpoche to just do a brief introduction to the video. This is a work that was made by a man named Richard Heckler, who just completed this video portrait of the specific world of Rinpoche's work with young women and nuns in Nepal. And I think the section we're going to see does not touch into the Tibet piece. It's just a 6-minute excerpt, but it will give you a flavor and a taste of the world that Rinpoche is working in Kathmandu. So without further ado, Richard Heckler's beautiful piece.
In a developing nation like Nepal, beset by centuries of poverty, it is the vulnerable who suffer most. And while the consequences to everyone in need are great, the consequences for young girls are dire. Chochmah Hill rises from the Kathmandu Valley, a refuge from the density and squalor of the city. Legend says that Manjushri, an emanation of the Buddha symbolizing wisdom, cut through the land with one chop of his sword to allow the Bagmati River to flow from the ancient lake, creating fertility in the valley. Over the past 6 years, one man, Tsoknyi Rinpoche III, has quietly purchased land on this hill to build a school for girls, a school that makes a unique offer. If any girl can make her way to the campus on Chochmah Hill, she is provided, free of any tuition or expense, 9 years of Western education with nationally certified teachers, intensive study in the Buddha Dharma, free room and board, and free health care. Any girl is welcome. Anyone can leave whenever they wish.
We are 10, mom, dad, and 8 children. We were 5 daughters and 3 boys here, and 5 of us stayed with parents, working a little bit in the fields and doing the household chores, but I didn't go to school. Since I'm the eldest daughter, I had to help my mom with all the house chores. That's what elder daughter does. It never ends. More and more, all the time it's more and more that you have to help, and that was my life.
Each girl is given the robes of a young Buddhist novice, an honor in Nepali culture. But there's more here than meets the eye. For in Nepal, these robes also confer some degree of protection from exploitation, child marriage, and unending servitude. It's not foolproof, for long-standing prejudices are slow in dissolving, but it helps to ensure their safety while they study and grow. The school is an ambitious project, not only for its brick and mortar, but for its vision. That vision didn't begin with Tsoknyi Rinpoche III, but over 150 years before.
The Tsoknyi lineage is started by first Tsoknyi Rinpoche, and first Tsoknyi Rinpoche saw the needs of women's development. At that time, it's the best is Buddhist education and practice.
In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, reincarnation refers not only to the continuation of consciousness from lifetime to lifetime, but sometimes to a karmic responsibility handed down as well.
We saw some great potential after a few years of training them, and then he asked many of his male students to establish nunnery. And then every year he go there and teach.
That devotion was assumed by his young C, or reincarnation, Tsoknyi Rinpoche II, and continued into the mid-1900s until his tragic and untimely death.
Second one, every year you go one round with all the nunnery. Spend 5, 10, 20 days, 1 month sometime, and teach, and also do sometime group practice, puja together. And then this cultural revolution happened when second Tsoknyi died on the way to prison.
The third and present Tsoknyi Rinpoche was barely 9 years old when told of his karmic responsibility by his father.
One day, a letter came from Nangshen and Adi Rinpoche. They asked me to come. In that letter, there's a big request from Kechak nuns. Please come to visit us. So then Tuguji Rinpoche told me a brief history of connection with first Tsoknyi, second Tsoknyi. Tuguji Rinpoche himself stayed many years in both nunneries at Kechak and Dechenling. Both are Tsoknyi nunneries.
Rinpoche, as his students call him, became increasingly aware of a piece of his own life's narrative, a piece that had already been written. With the help of contributions from the world over, the school began to take shape. Still at the beginning, neither he nor anyone else could foresee what would happen.
Major Rinpoche and myself, we went to Nuri, my hometown, and I saw many children are not joining the local school. So I gave a speech there, please join school. It was very important. And then I said, in case if you don't want to join your school in Nuri, so you can come to Jowar and join nunnery. That time I thought about 7, 8, and then suddenly karma happened.
Tradition offered an easy route. The girls could enter the nunnery. This had been done for generations, and they would be more than happy with that. Rinpoche took his direction, however, from a more personal source.
I have a small monster myself. I never went to school. So every time I speak English language or some other modern stuff I like to learn, it's very difficult. I have a choice. I can do like normal nunnery or establish separate school for the young nuns. So I choose that path because my monster and their need.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Are you happy?
Yes. This one is happy with the reason.
what would you like to share with our friends here about the Buddhist teachings that these young girls are receiving?
They came to the nunnery different age, some 5, 6, 7, or some little older. So first thing they joined school, about 9 years, and then they have a choice. They can leave if they want, or they can stay. If they stay, another 9 years of Buddhist philosophy. All the texts from India, Indian texts, which is translated in Tibetan, from Nalanda tradition, in Nagarjuna, Chantikirti, all the solid root texts about mind and also Buddhist psychology, meditation. So it's very, they debate. Whatever monks are doing, they're also doing that. So after that finished 9 years, if they didn't go, if they still stay, then next is they go for 3 years retreat with the retreat master and one nice house. We already built that, and then they go there and they do yoga and a lot of subtle body practice, and they do a natural mind, and which is finding original space, which is the host of all the relative phenomena. It's calm and peace. And we talk about essence love is one of the reality of our natural mind. Another natural mind is to go beyond fixation, beyond reify fixation on subject and object. There's a luminous state of mind, which as a Buddhist we call Buddha nature. If you're not a Buddhist, you can call nature of mind or nature of reality. And to connect with that, and then the nurture the essence of love into loving kindness. There's a lot of practice how to, bring into fullness of loving kindness through mindfulness practice and through Tonglen, giving and taking. So you understand other people's suffering, and you take people's suffering on you mentally. You feel, and whatever your joys, love, compassion, merit, you extend to other people to give, share, and then from that, which called bodhicitta, means bodhisattvas, full love and compassion practitioner is called bodhisattva, before Buddha. So we trained that for 3 years without studying so much, because study is already done. It's more like practicing. And then after that, I'm hoping there can be a, I call small or mini Dalai Lama going around in the female form and teach, or can go back to their village and they can do both. They have everything. I never went to a normal school. So my school, I went to India, is all based about Buddhism. Isn't, not so much about the modern things. Of course, the ancient wisdom is there, but not the modern wisdom. So I like to have ancient and modern wisdom together, and I think it will complete, I call human being, should have both. So this is sort of my mission, and I'm working very hard on that. This is my main project, and I really see is important for the world. And I think this is a small factor of world peace work I'm doing also. I hope one day it can be a ripple effect. Mm-hmm. Ripple effect is called?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about my English. My English is not so good in the United States. My English improved a lot in Taiwan. Even Taiwanese, they're surprised by my English. But in the UK, in the United States, no hope. But I still have essence love, so I'm quite okay.